Chapter 84. The Great Ying Dynasty. Ying City, the largest city in Yingzhou. King Lu Yong returned. The army was quickly stationed. Every street outside the city patrolled with troops, and the air was filled with a sense of solemnity. Wu, Wu. The sound of horns rushed to the sky. The people had long since stopped everything at hand and looked together in the direction of the royal palace. Countless officials from Yingzhou traveled to gather. The people had received the news 3 days ago that King Lu Yang was going to cut off Yingzhou and restore the Great Ying Kingdom. At first, the people were also astonished. Wasn't this a plot by the divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty? How could the king rebel? But this was the truth. A large number of troops were stationed in the city to prevent riots. In the place of the royal residence, it was even the case that the heavenly sacrifice ceremony had already begun. Today, LV Yong, an orphan of the Great Ying Dynasty, invites the heavens above and the earth below to witness for me, to restore the ancestral system today, to open the country and establish a dynasty, and to sacrifice my blood to heaven and earth, so as to make clear that I, LV Yong, will be good to the people and to the new country. I will restore my country to Ying, the Great Ying Dynasty, with the remnants of the former Great Ying Dynasty as the foundation, with this Ying city as the capital of the dynasty, renamed Yingdu, and with the heavenly Ying Hall as the center of the Great Ying Dynasty, to receive the world's qi. The center of the Great Ying Dynasty will be the heavenly Ying Hall, which will contain all the world's qi. Bow to the heavens and accept my kingdom. Bow to the earth to accept my kingdom. King Lu Yang's voice resounded over the entire Ying capital. The people knew by hearing King Lu Yang's voice that everything was irreversible. In the royal residence, no, it should be the place of the palace. King Lu Yong stood on top of the altar, grasping a blue imperial seal in his hand. The imperial seal was simple and ancient, but it carried a terrifying might. Below the altar, countless officials were looking forward to it. King Lu Yong was dressed in a blue gold silk dragon robe and wore a flat heavenly crown on his head, and as he spoke, he pressed the imperial seal in his hand into the earth with a loud bang. Ong! A dragon's roar abruptly came from within the imperial seal. Boom! The moment the imperial seal landed on the ground, the entire Yingdu was violently shaken, followed by a huge earth dragon vein emerging from the imperial seal. It drilled into the earth with a roar, rumble. The earth dragon vein drilled into the earth, and the entire Yingdu was suddenly shaken. But what followed was a rolling heaven and earth aura. The people in the city were suddenly wide-eyed, and the benefits of establishing a dynasty capital, were suddenly revealed. The earth dragon vein was placed into the earth, gathering countless spiritual qi to come. Rumble. Outside the city, a mountain rises up, in the rapid spread in all directions. This is the Great Ying Dynasty in the pastures of the earth dragon vein, has been sealed in the imperial seal for thousands of years. Suddenly released into the free, suddenly swim in the Yingzhou earth. For a time, the Yingzhou earth a roaring slightly earthquake in general. Ang til 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 til. All of the 100 cities in Yingzhou resounded with the monstrous sound of a dragon's roar. The Great Ying Dynasty is established. In the Ying capital, as the earth dragon vein is released back to the earth, above the imperial seal, it is bubbling up with rolling qi. But it is the qi of the Great Ying Imperial Dynasty of the pastures, and the dragon vein as well as sealed in the imperial seal. Now that the country is re-established, it suddenly rushes up to the sky. Yingdu was still the same Yingdu, and the rolling qi luck reappeared. At the same time, all the 100 cities in Yingzhou, all the city lords who were loyal to King Lu Yang, received the news early and also informed the people 3 days ago. Regardless of the people's opposition, under the suppression of the army, the same sacrifice to the Great Ying Imperial Dynasty began. Lower Ying City, kowtow to the Great Emperor and congratulate the Great Ying Imperial Dynasty. Long live the great Ying Emperor. The Lord of Lower Ying City droned out. Kowtow to the great Emperor. Congratulations to the great Ying Dynasty. Long live the great Ying Dynasty. Countless officials loyal to King Liu Yang all bowed down. Zuo Ying City. Kowtow to the great Emperor and congratulate the great Ying Imperial Dynasty. Long live the great Ying Dynasty. The Lord of Zuo Ying City drank loudly. Long live, long live, long live. Hundreds of cities, with 90% of the city lords, began to applaud King Liu Yang, ascending to the heights to lead the entire city, changing their flags to formally rebel against the great Jin Heavenly Dynasty, and pledging allegiance to the great Ying Imperial Dynasty. A voice shouted out. The city lords from all sides pledged their allegiance almost simultaneously. However, the countless people were anxious. Of course, the nobles and magnates with many interests associated with them had paid homage to Yingdu and pledged allegiance to King Liu Yang. After all, King Liu Yang had been running Yingju for thousands of years, and the powerful, nobles, and big families, with all kinds of marriages and shared interests, had long since made them form an ironclad interest group. When King Liu Yang established his state, naturally they all pledged their allegiance. For a time, a large number of senses traveled towards Yingdu, and the senses converged into qi, converging to produce qi, gathering in the sky above Yingdu. But all the same, there were countless people who were unwilling to recognize the great Ying Imperial Dynasty. Some time ago, just shameful, themselves now do this unashamed. I am the people of the great Jin Dynasty. Why should I be the people of your great Ying Imperial Dynasty? Although it is impossible to resist, however, there is not the slightest feeling, not the slightest qi convergence and go. This time, King Liu Yang's establishment of the dynasty was greatly reduced. This was also revealed in the skies above Yingdu, with the qi of the former great Ying Imperial Dynasty as its foundation, gathering qi from all directions of Yingju. The sea of qi clouds rapidly expanded. Soon, the sea of qi luck clouds was more than 6 times larger than that of the divine Foothill Imperial Dynasty. As the sea of qi fluctuated, King Liu Yang, Mr. Mo, Ao Shun, Fang Fang, Young Master and countless other officials were all looking at the fluctuating sea of qi with anticipation at this moment. The sea of qi fluctuating, slowly in the center, condensed an outline, a vaguely dragon-shaped qi body. Everyone clenched their fists and watched in anticipation. As more and more qi from the 4 directions converged, that dragon-shaped qi body slowly solidified, slowly clear. That dragon-shaped body was crazily absorbing the surrounding qi. Congeal, congeal, the golden dragon of qi luck. It must congeal. Young Master An clenched his fists in excitement. Above the sea of qi luck clouds, the golden dragon, which was completely condensed by qi luck, steeply seemed to come to life, opening its mouth and tilting its head in a long whine. And, as the golden dragon whistled long, the sky above filled with a steep haze of light and radiance. It's done. It's done. Countless officials were excited. Boom. Steeply, the golden dragon burst apart, turning into rolling qi and dissipating into the sea of qi clouds. What? Wasn't it about to coalesce into a golden dragon just now? It was coalescing just now. How did it disperse? How did it disperse? Countless officials exclaimed in shock. Young Master and the others' faces changed. After all, it's not enough luck. After all, it's not enough luck. It's all Guhai's fault. It's all Guhai's fault. It's just a little bit close. Just a little bit close. King Liu Yang's face was gloomy. The faces of the 100 officials below were anxious. Mo Yika looked at the golden dragon of qi that had crumbled in the sky and smiled slightly with a bitter smile. Greetings to the Emperor. Long live the Emperor. Mo Yik bitterly paid his respects. Mo Yik's words fell, and above the square, the group of ministers fell silent for a while, as if they were unwilling to admit it. The Lord of the Imperial Dynasty, called the Emperor. The Lord of the Imperial Dynasty, called the Great Emperor. The difference in words, a world of difference. The imperial dynasty was not established successfully. The golden dragon of Qi did not take shape and could only be downgraded to an imperial dynasty. The great Ying dynasty, the 100 officials didn't dare to touch Emperor Liu Yang's mold, so only Mo Yai could come and take the lead. Long live my emperor! Long live the great Ying imperial dynasty! With a wave of reluctance, the civil and military officials respectfully bowed down. Long live the emperor! Long live the emperor! Great Ying imperial dynasty! Long live, long live, long live! The officials and generals from all directions shouted long live. But at this moment, Emperor Liu Yong was very uncomfortable. The great Ying imperial dynasty was established. The news quickly spread to the 4 directions of the city, to all the cities in Yingzhou. When the crowd of city lords heard it, they all opened their mouths in shock. Great Ying imperial dynasty, not the great Ying imperial dynasty. A crowd of city lords were stunned. Silver Moon City. Divine Martial King and Sima Changkong also heard the news from the great Ying imperial dynasty, and the two of them also looked at each other. This Gu Hai, without spending a single soldier, destroyed an imperial dynasty. Ha! The Divine Martial King immediately laughed. Great Ying imperial dynasty. King Liu Yong should have been dealt a big blow. Sima Changkong laughed. Spread the news to the imperial capital, and also show the entire dynasty. What happens when you rebel? King Shenwu said with an icy gaze. At the same time, Yingzhou, 90% of the city lords were loyal to King Liu Yang. However, there were still 10 city lords that did not owe allegiance to King Liu Yong. But this was the area under King Liu Yang's control, and a great battle was imminent. You chaotic sons of bitches, how dare you rebel? His Holiness will not let you go. All rebels and traitors don't have a good ending. I thought it was a conspiracy by the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty, but it turned out to be the real thing. King Liu Yong, if you dare to rebel, no one will be able to save you. Rumble. The armies loyal to King Liu Yong and the armies loyal to the great Jin Dynasty. The two armies fought, and for a while, the battle was extremely tragic. The land of Yingzhou was in chaos. West of the Divine Foothill Dynasty, a 100,000 mountain area, there is a huge mountain, as if it was split vertically. Above the mountain wall, there are 3 huge words carved. Zhengjin Sect, 100,000 Mountains area, is the headquarters of the Zhengjin Sect. The sky has a rolling fortune, not inferior to the Divine Foothills Dynasty's fortune. On the outskirts of the 100,000 mountains, there are 3 huge cities, dependent on the Zhengjin Sect. Zhengjin Zong has a large array of guards, surrounded by clouds, and in the center of the largest peak above, there is a large hall, called Zhengjin Hall. In the hall, there were 2 men standing at the moment. One of them was the golden rudder master of the One Piece Hall, Chu Chen. The other was a blonde-haired old man, his sword brows raised, and his eyes containing fury. Patriarch, the emperor has already established a state, but it's a pity that it's only the great Ying dynasty, and it's a little short on luck, Chu Chen said bitterly. The blonde old man shook his head and said, yes, it's a pity. If the emperor had converged all of our hidden chi luck in the first place, it would definitely be an imperial dynasty now. Besides my Gongjin sect being loyal to the emperor, there are other imperial dynasties and sects that are also loyal to the emperor. Chu Chen's eyes lit up. What shouldn't be asked, don't ask, the blonde-haired old man said in a deep voice. Yes, obviously, Emperor Liu Yang's concealment wasn't just a Yingzhou. There were other forces that were also Emperor Liu Yang's properties. For example, this Zhengjin sect that was not weak to the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty. The Emperor asked me to pass an order to you that the Gongjin sect will attack the Divine Foothill Imperial Dynasty with all their might. And most importantly, find Gu Hai and kill him. Chu Chen solemnly took out an imperial decree. The blonde-haired old man slowly received it and opened the holy decree to read it. Execute Gu Hai with all your might, Jindan realm. The blonde-haired old man frowned as he looked at the holy decree. Yes, I once fought with Gu Hai. He's no match for me, Chu Chen said proudly. The blonde-haired old man's eyes narrowed slightly. Notify all the elders to come here to meet me. Prepare to attack Divine Foothill Imperial Dynasty. Yes, Chu Chen answered and quickly walked out of the Grand Hall.